another edition of the program, Woman to Woman. Last week we started a series, like looking into the woman's world. Let us see what can make and what can mar the woman. And we started so well. We did friendship last week. Today we want to look at marriage, if time will permit us, look at family, and also look at the woman as a beautiful being, beauty tips and all of that, why a woman should take all of this serious or not serious. And then we had the coordinator and founder of Caring Heart Initiative. She's still here. We had her last week and she's still here because she started something, Abby, and she must complete what she started with us. I'm adorable at this once again. And join me as I make welcome Comrade Grace Obakina. You're looking so fabulous today again.
Good afternoon. I greet you especially, my sister. Okay. It's always an exciting moment being with you because the topics that we look into are topics that are very, very inspiring to women.
Thank you. I'm blushing. All right, so we started something last week. Let's continue again today. And we did say we talked about friendship. Now let's look at marriage in a woman's life. Before we now go to family and then beauty, we'll just look at it, back, like the Yorubas will say. So now let's look at marriage to a woman who is already married to a woman who is aspiring to marry, married to a woman who is not interested. So we'll take it one after the other. So what is marriage to a woman, a normal woman?
Okay. Marriage to a woman, it's a life fulfillment, I would say, because to every woman that is on earth, there is this expectation. I want to grow, I want to be out of school, or I want to be done with my skill, I want to be settled with the man of my dreams. We all have our different expectations from a man, a man that will do this, that will do that. And we have so high expectations. And as life will always be to us, some get into it, they have all the wants, even if not 100%, but a good percentage with which you will say is fair enough. Because truth is, wherever you go, east, west, north, or south, it's not always complete everywhere. But it's always, I say marriage is what you plan and consciously work out to be. The process, working it out may not be easy, but it's always beautiful to consciously work it out. This would mean you sitting up psychologically, because marriage, the first area with which it will have effect on you, it's your psychology. We're talking about you're into marriage, two different persons coming together to live under one roof, trying to bear each other's excesses, trying to overlook, trying to have the conception. Some are lucky, you get married, you start immediately raising, there's conception, while some are challenged. And for those that are not very matured in mind, the challenged ones, you start having issues. So marriage is what you consciously, an institution, you consciously want to work out to see it the way you want it to be. Now for the marriage is what you are in already. At least to the standard of the Bible, no going back. No going back. The standard of the Bible. You are in, and it's something you want to work out. Beautiful. You begin to share with your partner, with your spouse, what are the things you want to achieve. The first 5 years, what are your expectations? The next 10 years, what are your expectations? How are you working? Are you building up a communication template with which you'll be able to excel? Because everything about marriage starts from your communication. Are you able to dialogue? Now, looking at the aspect of a woman, women, we want to talk a lot, to explain in details, to want to make you know the reason why you have to do this. So now, is your spouse the type that will give you the opportunity? Or do you actually know how to make your spouse listen to you? So these are the beautiful things that happen to a woman. And to every woman, a marriage should be a beautiful thing. A beautiful thing in the essence that if you are not able to see some things in the period of courtship, it is now time for you to sit up and begin to do it. I always tell people that every man is a fool for the woman he loves. I hope you have a clear understanding of that definition.
Sure.
For every woman a man loves, he can be a fool. And I always tell women we can actually make that work at every point in time. That is not to say there are no challenges. So the beauty for every woman that is married is to see how you can consciously, you see I'm putting a little emphasis on this, how you can consciously make your marriage work the way you want it. Not the way your parents had theirs, not the way your husband's parents have theirs, not the way your friends around are having theirs, but what you want it. And if you are not having challenges in your marriage, I would say there's an issue. Because even for your tongue and your teeth, they have challenge. That's why they have the bite. Now, the ability to be able to suppress that challenge and put it under control, you may not be able to completely eradicate it. It's what makes your home and your marriage enjoyable. Dialogue, it's also beautiful communication. So for every married woman, marriage is beautiful. Marriage is beautiful. And when you see your husband outside, people are admiring them, know that you are a good woman doing a good work. And if every man, you see people admiring your wife, know that you are a good man and you are doing a good work. But what keeps you on and makes you very, very proud of your home is your ability that those challenges you're having, you put them behind the closed doors. When you're going, you're able to manage it before your children, for them not to know your secrets, like when there are challenges. And you're able not to bring in families to come and give issues. Some advice can be very devastating. When I use the word not bring a family, does not mean you shouldn't break ice where there are challenges. So I'm saying your ability to stay put and be able to put your challenges under control makes marriage very, very beautiful. And this is the dream for every married woman.
That's fantastic. But unfortunately, for some women, it's not like that.
Of course.
Because we've seen where women go, or young ladies go into marriage. And before you say Jack Robinson, the marriage is over. The marriage will just be over. You begin to wonder, was there no love before they went into it?
Of course there was.
Was there no understanding? Was there no communication? Why did this marriage break? And you cannot really see why. You know, they are the only ones that are saying the why. But you can't see, you that is looking from the outside. Now, tell us, what are the ingredients of marriage? What should a woman have at the back of her mind before she goes into marriage? Because, like they say, marriage is not a bed of roses.
Of course not.
All right, there are thorns also. So these thorns that comes with marriage, how do we like? For the woman now, because like you mentioned the Bible, the Holy Book says that a wise woman builds a home, and the foolish one scattereth it. Now, let's look at that statement critically and see how a woman, marriage is important to every woman.
Beautiful.
Okay, marriage is very important. It is beautiful. It is loving. But even at that, it is not every woman that's going to get married at the end of the day. Now, for those who are already married or those who are aspiring to marry, what are the things they should carry at the back of their mind? Because young girls of nowadays, you know, our mother's generation, we had women who married for like so many years. Some of our parents are still married. But unfortunately, this generation, I don't know what's happening. So what should we carry at the back of our minds as a young girl who is looking for a husband?
I will merge that with the statement of marriage is not a bed of roses. So that for those that are yet to be married, these expectations of what are those thorns and how we'll be able to suppress those thorns, not to choke your marriage. I use the word, there must be a conscious, you must tell yourself, this is what I want.
Yes.
And if you are determined to graduate from the university, irrespective of the pressures you receive from your lecturers or finance, most times inability to buy your textbook, you see yourself making photocopy of your friend's textbook just because you want to have something to read. That is a conscious effort. Now, there are different, each family have their peculiar challenges. What works for one may not be for the other. Some, the husband is cheating, Why some, the husband is not cheating, but it's just not bringing money. Why some bring everything you want, but don't do anything, you're being incapacitated. And so many challenges goes for so many homes. But for you that is about to marry, the things you should look out for, you should just tell yourself, because I want a home, not just to answer the name, I am married. You look at things, a thing you cannot accommodate in the future, you don't have a need, bypassing it during your courtship. You know you don't like being bullied at, and despite whatever you do, your friend bullies at you, you just let him know, I can't push with this. I'm not saying some men may not change, but at the same time, the things you can't change now, you may not be able to change. A man should be able to have equal respect for his wife. Somebody you call your own. It says mine, somebody that is already yours. You have become one. Whatever you can't do to yourself, you don't see yourself doing it to your spouse. And something you cannot bear. I was discussing with someone recently, and she's good. She's very, very outspoken. She's a master degree holder. The husband is a PhD holder. Every of the siblings, the parents till today are working, but she just don't want to be allowed to work. And to her, it seems unfair. What do? He said, I have communicated with him over and over. To such, you can see that there is this inferiority complex, and you should begin to make this person feel that my working does not have anything to do with your ego being bruised. I don't have anything I have to compete with you. You should be able to understudy the particular challenge of your partner or your friend and see how you can tackle it. The truth is, in 90% of the challenges we are having today, it's only 10% that are seriously not having solution, but we just don't know the right method with which to apply the solutions to this problem. There is a great hope for marriage if we know the right things to do. If it makes you to play a fool for a while to be able to gain back the confidence, the trust, and the love of your partner, I always tell women, why not play the fool? There are so many ways to kill a rat.
But these days women don't want to play fool. Everybody wants to be wise. Nobody wants to
give respect. And that's where we're going to be missing it. I told people,
think this is because of this gender equality thing that we are pressing for. And so a lot of women are missing it.
They are missing the point. Because when we are pressing for gender equality, we should know it's not, we are not saying our husbands remain our crown. And you can only enjoy marriage when you give a man his place. We are only saying, should there be an opportunity for something to be done and I am of a better chance to do it, don't deny me because I am a woman. That is what gender equality is about. We are no longer changing the sex thing. People should begin to understand that there is a difference between the gender struggle and sex, as it were. God has not changed in his standard of making man the head of the home. And so it is that if you are the one supporting, there is a way you will make your husband understand that the fact I am supporting should not give you any reason to have complex. It won't even take out of place that you want him to do the particular thing and you bring it to him. Let him say, go and do it. So I'm saying marriage will be sweet when we understand what to do and how to apply what we need to do in the right way. Because the generations we are having now is becoming so insane. I say this because of the exposures our people are receiving. And just like we mentioned, this year International Day of the Girl Child talked about the digital world. Now the digital world, people are picking from the negative aspect, will forget that it's also an advantage for the girl child, for you to be able to mix out to the world, for you to be able to break the ice, for you to be able to connect with people of like mind, for you to be able to know that the things I naturally will not be able to do and have a space, I can from the comfort of my home begin to have a space. Why not pick up those positive aspects of marriage? Why should you always look at the negative part? If the man is no longer cooperating, what is the reason? Why is he no longer cooperating? Okay, what do I need to do to be able to gain his trust? Though we are not talking about deeply into a family right now, but we are saying for those that are expecting to be married, please take a deep look. When you're not having same ideologies, when your ideologies are different in life, you're asking this person, this is what I do, this is what I would love to do, and it's not saying reason. You think it doesn't matter. It matters a lot, because in the nearest future, once you get married, you start having issues. Oh, he doesn't want me to do something. He said it before, and you went along with it, and now you want to change it. It's not going to work. So when you're not having same ideologies, and if this person is not God-fearing, which to me is even the basis of it all, irrespective of your religion, if the person is not God-fearing, you know it can go to any length. Then there is this acceptability in the family. Somebody cannot be getting married to one person, even though you are not all living together. There must be this acceptability, because the minute the family is having headlocks with you, it's going to linger on and you will not have peace. So there is no need being in a place where you are not accepted. The Bible says two cannot work together. You cannot agree. So marriage can be sweet when all of these things are looked into. But in a situation where all of this have been considered and there are still challenges, one of the beautiful things you can go is to go back. There is this cartoon these children usually watch. It said, when you have a difficulty, pause, think, and take the next step. So what are we trying to say? Take a deep breath, pause. You can decide to give yourself a lockdown, just like 2020 did to all of us. And today we are all having Zooms, webinar. Yet it came with no negative effect. It also came with a whole lot of positive impact on us. Pause. Take a look. What can be done? If he's the type that will be talked to, let him be talked to, or let her be talked to, so we don't narrow down this time around. Because we have said, if the gender issue must be liberated, we shouldn't only focus on women, we should also bring the men along, so they begin to understand the areas where the women have pains and where they begin to. In marriage, the area of children cannot be undermined, so that before you get married, you are able to line out, what do we want from our children, and how do we make this happen? So you don't see a mother trying to channel a child this way, the father is trying to channel this way. The child will be confused, and children usually bring lots of conflict between husband and wife. And if this is not properly looked and checked, you discover that there's never going to be settlement.
Now let's look at the issue of desperation, because from what you talked about, a lot lies on the woman. Yeah. If a marriage must work, the woman has to do like 60–70% of the work. Now let's look at the issue of desperation. We're seeing instances where ladies get married out of desperation. Okay. Ladies get married because all of their friends are married and they are not. And so the next available man, you're jumping. In fact, you're doing everything humanly possible to make sure that you pin that man to marriage. You know, it could be as you could get pregnant, you could just do anything. And when you now get into marriage, you start seeing a lot of things. Who do you cry to? How do you even cry? What do you even say? You know?
To our beautiful women out there and young ladies, married or unmarried, aged or young, I want you to know that the worst trap and slavery you can get yourself into is the one you do out of desperation. We like it or not, not everybody will get married. True. Some try, go in, within the space of 6, 8, 1 year, they are out. They're down. And they tell you, I am no longer comfortable being with a man. Some persons are bossy. Yeah, there are some I have seen, I have known. They are bossy and they will just tell you, I can't be under a man. It's a cross they have chosen to take. And such women trying to compel them into the institution of marriage is going to be war for the man. In fact, I pity for such men because they'll live their life most miserable. So what I tell such people, if you know you are not ready to raise a home, you just want to have a child, you go get it. And you can get it in a very good and decent manner without putting that man into a psychological trauma. God will still not be happy with you, because the much we canvass for women, we also put men into consideration. There are several ways with which you can do it. You can go legally and medically and get yourself a child, instead of you opening your both eyes, get into marriage in the name of desperation. I just want to answer a name. And you put, you know, because you are not ready for it, you put the man through a lot. You turn the man into a beast. At the end of the day, you say, this man is violating me. What happened? Was he really, really ready to get married to you? And I tell young ladies, I don't understand this issue of courtship, so prolonged, you tie your life down. If you are not ready in the next, you can't study me in 3-6 months. I don't have anything that I'm doing with you. I know a lot of persons pretend, but you should be able to have the vital things you want to know about a woman. Can I cope with this woman? Will this woman be able to make me happy? Because I always tell people, one of the bedrock with which you look out for in marriage is companionship. Let's put children bearing as secondary. Companionship, what makes me happy, that will give me joy and prolong my life. And at the absence of this, every other is inconsequential. So for you to go into such in desperation, please watch it. At the end of the day, you make these men to sin and they just die. Some of them are living, yet they are dead. So I want to beg us, if you know it's in the act of, I just want to have a child, go about it in a healthy medical manner so that you don't put this man into trouble. Then, for some, it's not just about children. They just want to be married. I always believe that the best gift you can have in life is the gift that God and nature gives to you. It may tarry, but it will certainly come. So when you see that this man is not compatible, but just because I want to marry, then don't voice out when you start seeing things in the marriage. Because it's just like when Jesus Christ was to die, he knew that is the reason why he came to this earth. So when the cross was upon him, he carried it. Now that you have not understudied or given the man reason to study, and you went to trap him with pregnancy, you are in the marriage, whatever you see, you should not be able to cry out. Why? Because you brought this upon yourself. You can't change, you can't burn a fish that is broken, that is dried. If not, it will break. That's why I would say, while it is still fresh, do all of your adjustments. There is no need to be desperate in life, because if you are good and you have your spiritual life, I use that because it can be in either religion now. You pray to God, irrespective of the age. I think it was last year, there's this viral video of a 60-year-old woman that has never been married, and a man that has never been married. God came and got married to her. You do what you do in your space and just be who you are. Be good and be true to what you stand for. I believe God will bring somebody that is your own. And if you are also good in your community, recommendations come from anywhere. But it's when there is a problem. When people are, this person is too harsh, I will not allow my brother to come near, then there is a problem. You need to work on yourself.
I was discussing with a young man the other day, and I asked, why are you not married? And he said, Auntie, will you advise me to marry girls of today?
Okay.
I wasn't happy about that. And I said, what about girls of today? And he said, go to the streets and go and check by yourself. I don't have much to talk.
But please, to that brother, there are still people that are good.
What he's going to do is to just find a girl who is nice enough to be baby mama. Like that's an insult.
That's too bad.
That's an insult on the
and our womanhood, they are accepting this.
Womanhood.
They are accepting it, and it's quite unfortunate. It's quite unfortunate. It brings me back to our mothers. I want to beg us, whether we like it or not, everything starts from the family.
Okay.
It's not too late. It's not too late. Let's start remodeling our children. The high rate with which we want to grasp at things without considering the consequences is alarming. The girl child is not just for us to fight for, speak against violence and all that. We should begin to model the family front. The man, the woman. Let's begin to bring back ideas of positive mindset into them, so that even though they are growing in the generation of the wolves, they should be able to filter themselves. That's why I said, if that brother somewhere stumbled into this program, please, there are still good people. Some time ago, somebody met someone around me. They lost their father at age 9, and she grew up in an environment where she had every tendency to have been polluted, and she's still very decent. He said, you mean this girl growing up in a place like this without the supervision of a father could be like this? I said, go. She has her mother to thank. So what am I trying to say? As mothers, we have a lot of roles to play. Even though we are trying to tell our fathers today that the responsibility of bringing up children should not just be on the shoulders of a woman. How are
mothers going to do this? Because one, you're here, I'm here, our kids are somewhere. There are other women out there too who are busy.
Money
they
till
do
evening.
not have time. You know,
There's
morning
time.
to evening, everybody wants to make ends meet.
Irrespective.
You leave the house very early. These days, people work Saturday, work Sundays.
Yeah.
Okay, no weekend, no weekday. You work every day. That's all you know. It's just a few people who are lucky to have Saturday, Sunday off and stay at home and be with the children. Even that Saturday, Sunday off, you're still doing one or
thing
two
or
other
the
things
other.
to make sure ends meet. So how do we, because you have challenged the women now, how do we as mothers, as women, create that time to spend quality time with our girl child, even, not just the girl
Our
child,
children.
our children.
Our children.
How do we bring that up? Because it's very important to the woman.
It's always from the cradles.
I know some women don't even care about their kids.
Yes,
it's
always
just
from
them.
the cradles. Once children grow up, irrespective of our busy schedule, I have said this over and over, let's create time. Your time can be in the morning, your time can be in the night. The smallest and the shortest time you have, let your children look out for you.
Okay.
Please, let's begin to inculcate from childhood. It's not when they are toddlers, so from infancy. Let's begin to say, okay, if this is the time I have, what do I do? I have oftentimes said, create a dialogue within you and your children, so that when you are not there, once you return, cultivate the habit for them telling you things and be trustworthy and live a life of example. Okay. Those are the best and the fastest way. Children usually do what they see you do. And when they come back, when they see anything that is against what you do or what you've told them, they tell you.
Thank you again, Grace.
Thank you so much.
Time is up, unfortunately.
It's always exciting.
So, but we will continue. It's a series we started and we're going to end it. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.